Chem Street, suite number 1025 dans North Miami Beach, Florida. Téléphone nous dans cabinet c'est 305-614-0702, 305-614-0702. Si que vous faites brancher avec nous, nous demandez ou partager live là. Et puis, nous demandons tout, si que vous avez des questions ou des commentaires, mettez-le en bas live là, après dans la comment section là. Et puis, depuis que nous sommes capables de répondre aux questions pour vous, nous répondons pour vous. Nous voulons remercier vous que vous branchez avec nous pour une autre fois encore. Et si c'est la première fois pour nous sur cause légale ou bien one show PAM, nous disons bienvenue. Nous espérons que vous apprenez nos bagages aujourd'hui et que nous rejoignons nous encore une autre fois. Pas vrai? Et encore, je suis cause légale avec Maître Béatrice Cazo. Moi, c'est Maître Béatrice Cazo. Jeudi, nous allons faire un petit cause avec un ami nous, avec un collègue nous. C'est Maître Byrnes Guillaume, qui est un avocat, mais nous éviter Byrnes vini jodi parce que nous connaissons hier, nous avons célébré papa yo. Après, it was Father's Day. Nous connaissons que son jour qui est très important pour papa yo, pas vrai, parce que c'est pas chaque jour nous célébrer papa yo. Il y a des gens qui disent que nous célébrons maman yo plus que nous célébrons papa yo. Et nous connaissons que papa yo joue un rôle très, très, très important dans vie nous, pas vrai, dans vie timoun nous. So, on dit comme ça que aujourd'hui, nous allons dédier pour parler yo. We're going to talk about fatherhood. We're going to talk about father's rights. We're going to talk to Attorney Guillaume about, expérience parle comme papa qui a deux petites, pas vrai, comme on collègue, ils sont avocats, mais ils divorcent tout. Pas vrai, si nous pouvons faire toujours de petites communications, ça y est, petites causes, ça y est, et puis pour nous, que si on bagaille que nous-mêmes, apprendre ça. Pas vrai? Burns. Thanks for coming on the show. Welcome to Cause Legal. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone who's watching us today.
First and foremost, it's great to be here. I am with the talented Beatrice Cazo, one of the best attorneys here in the state of Florida. It is my pleasure. Thank you for thinking of me. And I still get amazed. I see you speak Creole like that. I love it. I love it.
Give me practice swim.
I sound like you. I'm always insecure about my Creole. I speak it, but I'm always, feel like I'm not enunciating correctly or, people are laughing. But I'm going to try to speak a little Creole. It's going to be a lot of English because I think in English, so it's hard to think to speak Creole. But welcome everybody that's listening. I am Byrnes Guillaume. I've been an attorney, my goodness, for over 14 years. I started my career as a prosecutor in Broward County. I worked for the state attorneys there in Broward County and hang out with the bad boys and put a few people behind bars, and had enough after 2 years and decided to open up my own law firm. For 12 years, I've been here in Palm Beach, and we do a lot of personal injury. We do a lot of criminal defense, and we also do family law. So that I am a father of two. I have a 11 and a half, going to be 12-year-old, and I have a beautiful 3-month-old son. I've been divorced, I guess, for about 6 years now, and that's a little bit about me.
Well, that's a lot of information. We appreciate it, and today, like I said, yesterday. Did you enjoy your Father's Day weekend?
I did. I had a great time, and my two kids made it special, and the lady I'm with made it special, and we had a really good time.
Yes, parce que as I was saying, pile moun dit comme ça que nous pas célébrer papa yo, pas vrai? Nous connaît que peut-être que c'est vrai que maman yo joigne plus accolade, right? Nous fêtons maman yo beaucoup plus que nous fêtons papa yo, et nous toujours dit que papa yo très important. Fathers are important, fathers matter, you understand? And we wanted to just celebrate the dads. And so let's just delve right in. You said that you have 2 boys, right?
Right.
And how old are they?
One is 12, going to be 12, and another is about 3 months old.
Wow. So you just like starting all over again,
All
changing
over.
diapers,
Not sleeping,
uh,
crying all the time.
team no sleep.
No sleep. So yeah.
Remember those days, and I don't miss them. I have two boys too, as you know, 9 and 11. Your say your Kaila. You understand? It's like, they're awesome. They're awesome.
There's no age. Not 9, 11, right before middle school, when you start getting into middle school issues, so they're a little innocent. So those are a really good time. You should enjoy them.
I'm enjoying them now because I know that, back when Sakwel passé dans le
Yep.
futur. So,
No,
for now,
there's some issues coming, but I'm sure you'll resolve it.
Jesus Christ, my heart can't handle it. So you indicated that you have been divorced now for about 6 years. You do family law. I do family law. You and I, we do personal injury cases. Today we're going to talk about the family aspect of it. In your practice, in your experience, as well as personal experience, you know how difficult, this is for a lot of our clients, how emotionally charged, these types of cases can be. How did it change you, or did it change you from being an attorney, a family law attorney, to being a client, right? Going through the process of getting divorced.
Absolutely. First, people used to say, I wouldn't wish a divorce on my worst enemy. And I never really realized what they meant until it became my time to get a divorce. It is emotional. It is something that people don't want to go through. But obviously we do go through this. I went through this, and I feel like I'm a better lawyer because I went through it. God knows, if I give it back I would give it back, but I can sympathize. I understand what they go through. And so because of that, I've learned some lesson. First, when my client comes in, I tell them, and we talked a little about this, is that you can fight for anything that you want. You can fight for the dishes if you want. You can fight for money if you want, if you can fight. But understand, when you keep fighting, when you can't come to a resolution, and in this bad blood, I tell people it's a marathon, not a sprint, meaning that if you fighting in bad blood, you guys can't stand each other. But you don't realize that you're going to be in each other's life regardless. You guys have a kid. Even after the kid becomes 18, emancipated, you're still going to be other person's life, in that the occasion, graduation, wedding, and birthday, and everything else. And so it's really good to try to get along. And I think before I was more of a gun ho, get him. Now I'm more, let's try to find common ground to figure out what we can agree, so that we can keep somewhat of a friendship. Obviously, things are happening. You guys don't want to be married. The love is gone, whatever the situation. But it's got to be one where, at the end of the day, you can respect each other. You can respect how you handle that. You can respect to where, when you tell your kids, you don't have any bad feelings because the other person did something out of bounds to the other person. And so understanding, what I learned the most is, it's a long-term relationship you're going to have with the other person. And what you do now can affect the long-term health of that relationship.
I think you put it beautifully, because I think sometimes this gets lost in the emotions are running high. People are upset with each other. People are angry. You understand? And I think that sometimes they lost focus on what's most important, especially if, secret se moun ki gen pitit, apre gen ti moun, fok nou jere, apre nou fin goumen, nan divos la, nou still gen pou nou jere, ou bien pendant nan goumen, nou still gen pou nou jere ti moun yo.
That's right.
Pas vrai? So, qui veut dire que like you said, nam goumen pour tel bagay, nam goumen pour ceci, nam goumen pour cela. Après, qu'on a plus, nam goumen, c'est plus que nam raï le lot, plus haine, plus I can't stand you, I can't this and I can't that. But at the same time, at some point, we got to come together because for nous gérer ti moun yo.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? The kids have to be taken care of. You know, ki jan, si moun yo pal pase tan entre deux kay sa yo kounye a, we still have to communicate because si moun yo emballage, and like you said, this is a long-term, this is for life, we're going to be in each other's lives because même la si moun yo vin adulte, you comprend, le gen mariage, graduation, you know, communion, grandkids, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're still, we're still going to get notre parent. All right?
That's
so
right.
there, you have to find, there's got to be a happy medium somewhere, right?
Yes.
Ou même que, you know, that you said that it changed you, the personal experience of having gone through the divorce have changed you because now you have more compassion, right? You understand the process a lot better, at least the emotional aspect of what the clients are going through because you went through it.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times, and I think that you probably have experienced it too. A lot of times for us, you know, for mothers especially, I think that sometimes we don't give the men credit or enough credit because I guess in relationships, in every relationship, there's a certain dynamique côté que, you know, people play certain roles, right? Typically, the mom is the caregiver, the caretaker. Pa vle tek te ti moun yo, fait tout jen de bagay sa yo. Parfois, parent, papa, li men. Maman travay tout, tout bagay ti moun yo, presque c'est li men ki jere la relasyon. Pa vle? Papa travay li men, parfois, you know, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So, kounya la, love in kon separasyon gen divorce, parfois li kon difficile pour maman ou papa as a caretaker, pas vrai? Pour son monde qui a occupé ti moun. I can, you know, ou pas connaître combien fois on client vient là, il dit pour ça que, you know, non pas choisi avec ti moun, non, pas occuper ti moun. Papa petit me manger, papa chou. What I'm gonna do? It's really hard for them to see, you know, the father in that role. How do you deal with that? And especially now that, you know, tell us about you. How is your time share with your son? How's that going?
Well, I fought and I got 50-50, meaning that 1 week I have my son and 1 week my my ex-wife has my son. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, the first week this went into a place. I was like, oh my God. I'll be honest, I was scared. I was like, nah, I'm responsible for every single aspect of my son, meaning that when he gets up to school, I got to get up. Mm-hmm. I got to fix his lunch. I got to make sure that whatever issue happened in school, I'm available to go to the school. When he gets back, dinner, and get him ready for school and the weekends, everything. And so, and to be honest, it was the first day I'll never forget. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. But you know what? A father's love, you figure it out. You absolutely figure it out. And I tell myself one day at a time. I just doing that time one day at a time. And it happened when my son is 11, 12. It happened when he was about 5, 6 years old. And then for 6 years, it's taken care of. But the first day was like, oh my God. And
what am I going to do?
What am I going to do? But you know what? You figure it out. You get up, you do that macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And then once you do that macaroni and cheese, you go to McDonald's, get you some dinner, and you figure it out. And clothes, you wear it, and if it fits, it fits. You come back here, take a shower, put deodorant on, you figure this thing out. And so that's what I learned personally. Now, similar to you, I've had clients who said, especially mothers with daughters, they're like, oh, they don't know how to take care of my daughter. I mean, he can't be with a man, even if the dad is man, and or if they have a girlfriend, the girlfriend's not going to take. And so I under, and it's a lot is cultural. I think it's our community. We just think that guys can't take care of it. And what I tell them is the law is the best interest of the child. What is the best interest? Not the best interest of mom, not the best interest of dad. What is the best interest of? And the law has recognized it's the best interest for both people to be in their life. And if both people are fit to be in that child life, then they're both entitled to have it. So 50-50 is not something uncommon. And you know what? Maybe during the marriage, he may have not taken that role, a dual role like you did, and he may have been more of the provider, and he had not more of a caregiver, not more of a been there. But you know what? If he decides that this is what he wants, he can do it. He can do it. He'll do it. And so, so that's what we talk about. And it's the interest. It's the kid's interest that both people actively in the child's life. You don't want to go have a child that have issues because mama wasn't around or daddy wasn't around, and we've all know those kids that have issues like that. The law understand that a functional human being need to have both set of parents in there, and so that's what we talk about is that these that the parents will gain the knowledge, they'll make it happen. If I have friends that doing daughters that have daughters and they have rights and they have the kids doing certain days and they figured out how to do the hair. I mean, they figure it out. You just figure out when you have to do something, you figure it out. And so that's my thoughts on that.
That's exactly right. I have to try to convince my clients sometimes to tell them. I said, you know that li pat fel parce que connaît que s'il quitte ou même moi vin fel. You understand what I'm saying? Like he didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Parce que connaît que maman a vini t'aller la vin take ça. You understand what I'm saying? Il pas faire manger parce que connaît que ou pas vini ou pas faire manger que ce soit gens que ou fatigué. You understand? Ou pas quitter petit ou grand goût, ou pas quitter sorti sale, ou comprendre but même gens que garçon connaît pour lever pour baigner, pour habiller, pour manger, pour you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pour groom selfly. C'est comme ça, ti moun sont humains liés tout. You understand?
Yeah.
He or she may be small, but still a human being. And so même gens que le connaît que pour occuper tête li, il connaît que faut le manger, faut l'habiller, c'est même gens l'a fait avec ti moun nan. So que pas manger sous petit pour pas mal manger. You understand what I'm saying? So he will figure it out. And then I have to tell them, let him parele, pas passer, quitter le wap gade pour que si ti moun is not going to be taken care of. Di pat fel pendant mariage la, di pat fel pendant relation parce que le connaît que si que le pas fel, ou même you gonna do it. Let que ti moun nan rete avec lui, pas vrai? Là que c'est si mon a passé temps ça avec papa, temps ça qui consacré avec papa, the father will figure it out. He will figure it out. S'il est là, ou comment ça peut dire, il já mon tête là, you got this, right? You want it 50-50?
You want it 50?
Figure it out. You understand?
Yeah.
And then, I tell them too, when I sit down ou même, this time, prends temps ça pour ou même, pas vrai, improve, maybe aller retourner l'école, take some classes. You understand what I'm saying? Do something, because I think that what it is that it's like, okay, what am I going to do with myself? You understand? If the kids are not there, if the kids are with dad, because they're so used to being there 24/7. You understand? Taking care of the children. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. Having your kids sleeping someplace else, you understand, another house, and again, it goes into, that this agreement that we put together for these parties. You understand? To make sure that each parent have access, you understand, to the children, to be able to talk to them when they're not with them. And you have said it and you've said it best, kote la li men pou sistem nan, sa ke yo gade, le a pale de divorce, a pale de séparation, c'est ça qui nan intérêt ti moun yo. You understand? What is in the child's best interest? C'est ça seulement kote la besoin konnen, yo besoin konnen que, est-ce que moun sa, pas vrai, you know, est-ce que moun sa abusant? Pas vrai? Est-ce que ti moun nan pral gen problème mental, émotionnel? Vous comprenez si que ti moun sa around moun sa, parce que moun sa ka peut-être li même gen problème, you know, émotionnel, li gen problème li ka violent. Vous comprenez? Est-ce que le pral abandonner ti moun nan? Tout genre de bagay sa yo. So qui veut dire que avant que pour ta dit on que pour ti moun nan pa ka passer temps avec l'autre parent, faut ka prouver by juge là peut-être qui ça. Pas vrai? Faut ka bay juge la évidence, faut ka prouver peut-être qui ça que ti moun nan pa ka passer temps avec l'autre parent. Parce que si c'est pas ça, gens que juge la weli, gens que la weli, c'est que ti moun nan bénéficier de leur gagner, you know, accès à amour et support to their deux parents. You understand what I'm saying? That the child would have, you know, the love and support and a relationship, a good rapport with both parents. Vous comprenez? Que li gen accès à maman, li gen accès à papa, li ka passer temps avec maman, li ka passer temps avec papa, et tous les deux avaient encouragé dans de relations ça. Maman a encouragé ti moun nan gen une relation avec papa. Papa a encouragé ti moun nan respecter maman, gen une relation avec maman. Même si que nous deux à nous pas 40 ans, non? And they said, even if the two of you cannot really get along, but at least nous ka gen ça en commun côté que nous ap lever ti moun yo pour yo remen maman yo. Lever ti moun yo pour yo remen papa yo. Pour yo respecter l'autre parent. Pas vrai? You know that I had a situation where, you know, the mother keeps trying to set up the dad, you understand? Trying to get the child to lie about things that didn't happen. Yeah. Understand? And if I didn't represent either of them, I was the guardian ad litem at the time. Vous comprenez? Que, you know, ap fait menti sous l'autre parent. Qui est-ce qui pourrait le hurt? Qui est-ce qui pourrait bagay ça c'est ti moun nan pral affecté. You understand? So what fait ti moun nan fait menti sous l'autre parent parce que pour besoin you want to have a leg up. You understand? Nan ka. What fait ti moun nan bay menti sous l'autre parent? What fait ti moun nan di sak pa fait, sak pa di. À la longue, c'est ti moun nan bagay ça pral affecté. Do you understand? Et ça fait, you know, ou gen un pile ti moun nan la ou ya wap mande pot parent ti moun sa yo teye. You understand? Pour zak que ti moun sa yo wap fè nan la ou ya. So, c'est ça, le n'a parlé de, you know, relation en deux moun kap divorcé. That's what we're talking about. Mettez différence nous deux côtés et puis gade intérêt ti moun nan. You agree, Byrnes?
Absolutely. You said it well. You know, when people come to my office and they get going through the divorce, and a lot of times they want to, even me, they want to push me into, hey, what happened? This woman had 10 men, and this makes her bad, and
right.
Or this woman to come in and this man had 10 women and it's bad, and so, you know, because I'm a lawyer, I'm a counselor, so I listen. So even though it has nothing to do with this case, I'm like, Florida, they don't care this person was a bad husband or bad wife. That's why you get a divorce. We understand it didn't work out. There's no bad person because they were a bad spouse. And so first I let them, you know, talk to me about, you know, and I explained to them, you know what? That's the past. It has no bearing on how you moving forward. You are here. And so the best thing you could do is, you know, move on from that, from the bad feelings, because if you don't move on from that, then you're gonna put the bad feeling to your kids. You know, me personally, I try not to say anything negative of my ex. I mean, it's just there's no reason to say that, she's doing her best to try to co-parent, and there's no reason to say anything negative about your ex. It's just even though, you know, the ex may have 20 men, 20 men. That's something that should be kept between you all. You move forward. You're not guys not together, and just speak positive into your child regarding his parent, his other parent. So you know, I guess my advice is this. You know, for when you come to these lawyers about divorce, really it, you all this is happening in the past. It's really, and I'm gonna be nice. We really don't care. We will listen. We really don't care. What we care is this: how many kids you have. What do you want in terms of custody? What do you how much what the assets are, and a whole bunch of stuff that has to deal with moving forward. Second of all, understand the more bad energy you keep, if you don't resolve that in your mind, your heart, the more you're going to bring it into this. And you don't want your kids, you don't want the other lawyer, and you know, it becomes stressful situation. So you just got to heal from that and look forward and move forward and speak positive into the other, to your kids in terms of their mom and their dad.
You said something, and I want to piggyback on that. I think it's very important that you don't speak it, you know, poorly, ou pas parler mal de l'autre parent devant ti moun yo. Pas vrai? Ou pas di mauvais bagay de l'autre parent devant ti moun yo. Parce que après tout, c'est papa. Après tout, c'est maman. On commence à me dire li ka trop petit ou bien que you know, li pa ka di wanyen parce que li peur, ou kompren, li pa ka di wanyen. But ça fait le mal. Ça fait le mal le que le temps de maman a parlé papa le mal. Pas vrai? A parlé papa le mal avec l'autre moun, l'autre membre famille ou bien amis. Ça fait ti moun nan mal le que li tande que a parlé maman le mal. Pas vrai? Calling her out her name. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Devant ti moun nan. Ti moun nan ka pa di wanyen. Parce que son ti moun niye, pas vrai, nous apprend ti moun yo respecter parents yo, so li ka pa di rien, mais connaît que bagay ça a fait mal. Pas vrai, c'est comme ça, et ça fait parfois, lorsque nous gagnons une situation côté que parents yo divorcé ou bien yo séparé, parfois, Jean bagay ça réagit sur ti moun nan, c'est là que l'école ou que grade li commence à affecter. Pas vrai? Grade li commence à descendre ou que il y a certaines activités que tu qu'on faire commence pas faire yo encore. You understand? So certains amis et puis toute la journée la fâché, la vexé. Pas vrai? Parfois il y a des gens qui à l'école yo gourmet. You understand? Yo gourmet avec l'autre élève. Ça dit que c'est pas comme ça qu'on y est déjà. C'est ça que fait un pile fois. That's how the school counselors ou bien teachers yo ka pay attention, yo vin wè que gon changement dans environnement ti moun sa. You understand? As to why, you know, the kid is acting out at school. Parce que, you know, nearly li genyen. Ou kompren nan sa que la vivan nan kay la. Li pa ka frappe maman, li pa ka frappe papa. You know, ki sa que le fait. Le la l'école la koun li pick a fight avec un élève, l'autre élève. Il entre dans gourmet, parfois ti moun sa yo kon vin entre dans delinquency. You understand? So bagay sa affecte ti moun nan assez. Kounya lè ko vin ap ajoute problem pa ou nan tèt ti moun nan. You know, there are certain things that should remain between the adults. And c'est peut-être ça que coach yo mette nan papier. Pas vrai? You know, these parenting plans, these, you know, settlement agreements, court orders. Yo toujours dit que nous pas fait ti moun yo vin tourner messenger. Nous pas passer message bay ti moun yo pour l'autre parent. Nous pas dénigrer yon parent devant ti moun yo. You understand? And now even with social media, you have situations where, you know, one parent is going on social media, ou bad mouthing the other parent. You comprend? Tout genre de bagay sa yo, si ti moun yo gen l'âge, yap wè bagay sa yo, bagay sa yo pat fè yo bien, bagay sa yo ap affecté yo. Vrai? Nou vle ti moun nou, you know, comme parents, we want the best for our kids, right?
That's right.
Right? We want them to be raised in the best environment. Nous voulons que pour y aller dans bonne école, nous voulons que pour y apprendre, faire bon élève, pas vrai? Ce qui veut dire que ou pas qu'à quitter ça qui a passé pour entre ou même avec notre parent pour affecter ti moun ça pour you know, for the rest of their lives, because si ti moun sa chita gen expel l'école, après yo mette le dehors l'école, il pas fait bon grade. Like I said, it's going to have a snowball effect.
Mhm.
Am I right, Byrnes?
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So just remember, it's you know, for the sake of your kids, try to get along, try to understand. And I'm not saying there's things you shouldn't be fighting for. Please don't misunderstand with getting along and for you not to fight. We are here because we want to fight for you. We want
correct.
You don't get it twisted. We're gonna fight for you, but maybe you don't need to fight for the dishes. Maybe like, hey, you know what? Whoever gets the dishes, get the dishes. Maybe you don't need to fight for, I don't know. Maybe there's a car. You know, the person is entitled to a car so they can drive. You know, it's going to protect the person needs the car. Give him the car. Give him the car, you know, knowing that your son or your daughter is going to be in a safe car. But the big things like custody, when you see you want 50-50, yeah, you should fight for it. Marital asset, like the house, fight for it. We are here. We'll fight for you. One thing with our people is that we like to hide. We like to hide ass. What's this about, beard? Why are we hiding asset, man? why are we putting it in grandma's name? We put it in
the brother's name. You understand? Your adult kids from another relationship. Et vous saisissez là ouais que mettre ça au train de mon ça yo nan pot. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I will do a cross claim. I will add them as a third party defendant and grab them and bring them to court. You bet.
I never understood that. I'm like, why are you doing that, man? It's just help me.
Lot moun nan pa soti pa egale. Konen konye propriété nou gen nan voyage. Konen ki sa kache. Konen, understand? So we're not find it. You can try to hide it.
Even if it's hard to find, we can hire an accounting forensic accountant, they call them, and they'll get the number. Financial are easy to find because they're numbers, and there's titles. I mean, come on now. And if you have 50,000 in one account, and then right before you file, 45 is gone, and you got 5,000 in it. What you think that people gonna go? What did you do with that 45,000? Come on, people. Come on. Get body curl. Some bishop body curl, Busa. I'm gonna bring out the curl for that, man. You, please. Mom join you.
They need to know. They need to understand because you know, pro Kaila pasel sous tête. The parcel by your
cousin. I mean, come on, people. Come on. Let's just be fair. It's doing the marriage. You guys earn certain property, and it's gonna hurt. When I got my divorce, it hurt me. I lost some stuff, man. Trust me, I cried like a baby over that. when you worked hard for your stuff, and you get them. And really, I'm gonna be honest. I thought the way I thought about my property. You shouldn't think of it that way. Let me tell you how I thought about it and the way you should think about it. I'm thinking I worked hard. I woke up early. When I was a prosecutor. You weren't there with me messing out and defending a criminal out there. You know, could have had a bad day. Could tell his friend, "Hey, go get this prosecutor out there." You weren't there. You were waking me up. Working early, going to school. When I went to law school, I would work full time and at nighttime went to school. You weren't there. My sacrifice to do all this. I mean, and you weren't doing it. You were there, but you weren't doing all this sacrifice I did. And so the way I thought about it, man, it's my stuff, man. It's my earning stuff, man.
Okay, you learn real quick, right? Quick, fast, in a hurry. That's not how the law look at it.
The way that's the way I thought. There's like, hey, But now, mature Byrnes would say, you know what? While she was there, she gave me a meal. While I was doing that, she was there raising the kids while I was kind of a little bit absent. And you know what? We worked together during that time,
Yes.
and she
Yes.
earned 50-50. You see, I have grown to be this man. It's a lot of it's not a prayer. I'm a Christian. It's not a prayer and meditating to get to this point. I've learned, okay, it's 50-50 because she's earned it and God gave it to you. And let's just separate 50-50. And once you're done, think about it twice if you're gonna get married again, but think twice about it. That's all it is. But yeah,
it took a lot of prodding, right? But you finally got it.
yeah, I'm there. So my and you know, in the community, just that's what you got to think. It's marital asset is assets that you guys accumulate while you were married, and
Correct.
the person may not have been actively the one that paid for it, but because you guys were together, the marital asset and the law says it's got to do 50-50, and it's gonna hurt, but it's for you to try to hide it and do crazy stuff with it, it's in the long run it's going to hurt you because you're going to spend more money on divorce. It's going to bad blood between each other because I'm like, this guy's hiding and you just try to do the right thing at the beginning.
Yeah, and you know, for the most part, and I have to educate my clients on it. You know, the laws are changing, and they're looking at the fathers now as equal partners. You know, as it comes to raising, you know, the children. I think that in the old days, in the old days, it was a lot different. Papa yo te senti que yo pat ge aucun droit. Pa vre, yo senti que, you know, kote la te toujou nan side maman, pa vre, especially when it comes to the kids, right? Et puis, kounya la loi komanse ap chanje, papa yo gen droit tout. Ou kompren? On lot langaj ke m toujou ap adrese avek certain kliyam, se petit mwen, petit mwen, petit mwen, petit nou.
Yes.
Pas vrai?
They
C'est
always say
petit
that. They
nous
always say
deux,
that.
petit
Yep.
nous, qui
Yes.
sont parents tout, parce que petit à pour tout.
That's right.
So for petit nous, ou comprenez ça me dit? Même
That's
gens que, ou comprenez, même petit tout à protéger, l'elle non, mais papa, ou comprenez, on essaye de ballon petit trust que la occupe tout, la première la protéger. Pas vrai? So you constantly have to do that and trying to remind them or, you know, educate them to the point that un bay lot pa on ti kredi. Un bay lot pa on ti kredi, mes amis. Le ti moun nan men, ou kompren, la jere, la proteger, ou kompren, la bagay. Obviously, nou pa pale de situation, et faut nou clair sou sa. Nou pa pale de situation, parce que gen certaines situations, you know, exceptionnelles, kote que si que ou gon parent ki abusant, si ko gon parent ki violent, mte di sa au commencement, so m'a répété ça encore pour moun si ko fek branché ou fek ap gade nou. Si ko ou gen un parent ki violent, ki abusant, si que ou gen un parent qui gen peut-être gen problème drogue ou bien problème alcool, après tout genre de bagay ça son bagay pour adresser avec avocat ou pour faire avocat connaît ou comprendre ça son monde que faut nous faire attention nous you know c'est pas un monde que pour nous quitter ti moun yo pour compter avec lui pas vrai ils sont monde qui violent ils sont monde qui abuse ti moun you know si que son monde qui aboie tout le temps pas vrai moun you know ti moun yo pas ka dans machine avec lui parce que la boue la conduit en bas à influence d'alcool ou bien même drogue tout. Pas vrai? These are things that you need to let your attorney know parce que faut nous protéger ti moun. Vous comprenez? Et ça même ça nous te dit depuis au commencement parce que nous dou comme ça que côté là quand la garder ça qui nan bon intérêt ti moun nan. Li pas nan bon intérêt ti moun nan pour gagner un parent cap abuser. Li pas nan bon intérêt ti moun nan pour quitter avec un parent cap boire ou comprendre cap sous cap tomber ou bien que mettre ti moun dans la machine pendant que lui-même la conduit et puis li sous pas vrai so toute bagay ça yo faut que nous ka là faut que nous ka protéger ti moun nan absolument vous comprenez So ça c'est, you know, these are exceptions to the rule. Vous comprenez? But ou pas qu'à dire comme ça que non, on pas accepter, petit même pas accepter pour la passer temps avec nek ça. Ou quand ça me dit, nek ça c'est ceci, nek ça c'est cela. On n'est pas traité bien, il pas ton bon mari, il pas ton bon ménage. You understand? That's not enough. That's not enough. Que ce soit bad blood que vous gagnez avec l'autre monde, non. Ou ça veut dire que il pas ton bon mari ou même il pas ton bon ménage, but est-ce que l'on bon papa? You understand? C'est ça que vous demandez. Est-ce que l'on bon papa? Il ne doit pas gagner bon caractère pour le mari. C'est vrai? Il n'a pas gagner bon caractère pour le ménage. Mais est-ce que lui un bon papa?
That's the character.
Right, Byrnes?
That's absolutely, you know, he may have been a bad husband, a bad wife, a bad boyfriend, a bad girlfriend, but is he a good parent? Is he a good father? Is she a good mother? And that's the standard. That's exactly the standard. If you know your art, you've seen them, you spend more time. That's the answer. Then try to work something out where both people come out. But if, like you said, if there's you saying no, then you need to fight for that too. That they're not fit. The law say they have to be fit.
Correct.
And that's the best interest. If there's drugs, violence, sexual issues, if there's anything, if there's a DCF report out there, if there's DUIs out there, if there's then they're not fit. They're not fit, and you need to fight to make sure that you protect your child. But that's not. If a parent is fighting for the child, there's something there, and so it's more the exception to especially our Black fathers here. We get such a bad rap. We get bad rap that we don't want to pay child support. We don't want to be there in custody, and if you have somebody that's there and that is fit, and that you know in your heart that hey, he's a good dad, then you just got to try to work things out because it is the best interest of that child that both parents are there.
And you know, m'kon di, m'kon parle avec client parfois, m'kon fait parallèle là. M'kon di comme ça que ou connaît que m'kon représenter client côté que monsieur a pas intéressé dans ti moun yo, pas vrai? Li pas vle, li pas bagay, ou comment ça veut dire c'est juste que li juste la belle. Ou comment ça veut dire la belle wants nothing to do with the kids, wants nothing to do with with her, the kids, anything. Pas vrai? Vous connaissez que des cases côté que, à part quitter Kaila, wap chercher la terre, wap chercher l'enlè, wap chercher sideways, ou pas qu'à joindre parce que, comme tu m'as dit, l'elle quitte Kaila, elle quitte terre. You understand what I'm saying? Probably move to another state, retourner en Haïti, ou comment ça peut dire, parce que ou pas qu'à joindre, il disparaît, parce que, ouais, ça son monde, qui pas care de ti moun, ça son monde qui pas, ou comment ça me dit, li quitte mariage là, li quitte relation, et puis tout quitte ti moun yo tout. Do you understand? Mais, donc, on papa qui l'a, kap goumé pour gagner petit, pour gagner relation avec petit. Why would you want to fight that? Why would you want to fight that? Why would you not give your kid, you understand, une opportunité pour une relation avec parents, pour une relation avec papa, l'orgon garçon kap goumé pour relation avec petit. Parce que, moi, ça côté que, peut-être que je peux représenter papa. Et puis, m'oblige à coumer pour lui-même parce que madame, non, ou bien ancien, ou bien ménage, là, pas vle à coumer, pour client, pour papa, avoir une relation avec petit, pour passer temps avec petit. Parce que, li fâché, genre que mariage a fini, gâté, ou bien que gens que la relation finie, ce qu'on y a là même, il voulait punir monsieur.
That's right.
Mais ça que le pas pensé dans punir monsieur, c'est petit là ou punir. Comment ça veut dire? Parce que c'est petit monde ça qui vraiment besoin tous deux parents. Pas vrai? Que l'important pour petit monde ça gagner une relation ni avec maman ni avec papa. So, côté que vous essayez punir monsieur, nous vraiment à punir ce petit monde. Comprenez? Parce que monsieur Ali même, il a, joué une façon de move on. Ou quand ça me dit, après un temps, il te demande celle avec petit. Et ça veut dire, il te passe misère avec lui. Les petits moins grands, il a la vie chercher. Si moun sa li même qui pas connaît que c'est ou même qui impose papa, ou comprenez ça me dit, well, c'est ou même qui impose papa une relation avec lui. Kounya l'a grandi et puis kounya l'a raï l'autre parent. L'a raï papa parce que papa me parle même, papa me pas vle. Avec que là l'aile pas jamais virer dos, ou comprendre virer tête pour chercher, pour le vin ouem. Ou comprendre il pas qu'on jamais lever, pas qu'on jamais dormir, pas qu'on rien de même. Kounya la ti moun ça commence à faire tétin dehors. You understand what I'm saying? Ti moun ça commence à commettre certains actes dehors, commence à faire tétin dehors. Et puis, il y a certaines situations côté que le kounya la ti moun sa vin rive dans l'âge. Et puis, il prend contact avec notre parent. Et kounya la apprendre que papa te toujours voulu contact avec lui. C'est ou même qui t'a imposé ça fait. Si moun sa kounya ka vin rayi ou.
That's right.
Ou comment ça me veut dire? Soit ta PC et préventé à kounya le retourner vin de yo. You understand what I'm saying? Kounya la même ti moun sa vin rayou parce que ou qui tel grandi à penser que l'autre parent pas de vle. Ou qui tel grandi à penser que l'autre parent pas remel. You understand what I'm saying? Ou pas papa jamais vin ou pas papa bagay, ou pas papa quitte nous, ou pas papa you understand what I'm saying? Kounya la le ti moun sa vin apprendre tout effort papa te fait kounya la pour gen relation avec lui. C'est ou même qui bloquait tout effort ça yo. Kounya la ti moun sa pral rayou, kounya la pral maté ou. Ou kon ça me do, so kounya la même ou vin et ou même qui perdant, ou vin perdu. You know, so tout goumen ça, tout bagay ça yo. Yes, get certain bagay que nous a goumen pour get certain bagay que we're gonna stand firm on our demand. Let's fight. Come on, roll up your sleeves. Let's go. Vous comprenez? Things that you are entitled to, things like that. Lorsque les choisis, li s'agit de Timounio, on essaye ouais que si nous ka fait même genre avec coach yo a faire, a demander nous faire, on nous ouais que si nous ka fait ça qui nan intérêt Timounio.
That's right.
You understand? Qui ça qui nan bon intérêt Timounio. That's all I have. This was supposed to be your take.
No. You do that. You do. I mean, we come across so much. You know, people come in and obviously they hear how talented you are. They hear how much you respected in the legal community, how much you. But we also understand that, we know the law. The law is, I've had parents that said, you know what, I want 100%. And they come in for a consultation, they want to hire me. And I don't know what other attorney do it. And I tell them, you know what, why? Is he abusing the kid? Is it or does he not want it? But if you want this, your expectation, I can never get your expectation. I'll never meet your expectation because that's not the law.
Right.
The law is that it's the best interest of the kid, and if it's not the best, at least he's going to have 25%. At the very minimum, he's going to have
at the very minimum, right?
At the very minimum. He may not get 50, but at the very minimum, and if I cannot give you 100. I cannot. This is the law. Unless you can tell me he's just not fit. And those are other issues. But if you can't address those other issues and he's a good dad, then I'll never come to your expectation. I'm the wrong attorney for you.
I agree.
So we definitely, I can see you passionate, man. You passionate. I love it. I love it.
I try to manage, clients' expectations from very early on. Yeah. One thing they will tell you is that I am brutally honest with them. You understand, when it comes to managing your expectations, when it comes to what you can expect, you understand, and what the law says on the specific subject, because you don't want to, premièrement, you cannot give anybody any guarantees.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes client read guarantees. Okay, let's go guarantee. No, sir. No, ma'am.
No, I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee nothing. I can guarantee in life.
You understand? Any guarantees on a case? No. So it's a matter of that. And I guess the one last thing that I would add in terms of, the timeshare, of course, we got to take into consideration the other party that's asking for 50% of the time. Are they really able? Ou comment ça me veut dire pour gérer 50%? Parce que soit travail, 7 jours par semaine. Ou comment ça me dire 12-hour days? Mes amis, ou demander pour 50%. Ça pas de timon you. You understand? Ça pas make sure que timon ça lever le matin pour aller l'école on time. Ou comment ni manger breakfast, ni tourner le faire devoir tout bagay ça. We have to be,
if they're going to be working, you're going to be with grandma.
You understand? You have to be reasonable in what you're asking the court to do. Parce que le juge n'a pas regardé tout ça tout. So, travail tout, 6 jours, 7 jours dans la semaine. On comprend nous pas même bien temps pour être, ou pas même bien temps pour reposer, pour faire demander petit monde dans venir avec pour 50%. Ou déjà, ouais, ça, son bagage va faire pour pas payer child support. That has nothing to do with the fact that on voulait make sure que petit monde on comprend bien occupé. C'est-à-dire que le parent est capable de gérer tant, de gérer petit monde, make sure que petit monde on comprend, doing everything that he or she needs to do, and pour lever petit monde. So all these things we take into consideration. So, just to wrap it up, today was supposed to be about fatherhood and father's rights. So I hope that, nous fait message à passer dans le sens que, connaître que papa yo important dans la vie de moun yo. Ou comme ça me dit que yo gen droit tout. Yo gen droit tout, c'est pas ou même qui forme, c'est ou même seulement qu'à gérer. Et puis, papa yo cette responsabilité tout quitter yo. Tell him, let him figure it out. You understand? By responsibility, I will figure it out. I'll let you have the last word.
No, I appreciate it. And I started out when I said, you know what, sometimes we as Black men and Haitian, we get a bad rap. We hear all the negativity of this guy doesn't want to pay child support. This guy doesn't want to be with his child or his children and this. But when there's a guy that's here that wants to do right, that wants to see his kids, that wants to be the father, that wants to be present, that want to be the dad that they need to be, even though the marriage didn't work out. Maybe he wasn't mature to be in a relationship. Maybe the relationship didn't work out. You know what? Let's try